Virgo, and welcome to your love, romance, relationship reading for the first half of October 2019. I'm Heather from the Crystal Vein Tarot. Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me today. Not all messages will resonate with you. Take what fits and make a note of those that don't, as they may become useful to you in the near future. Also check out the readings for your moon and rising signs if this reading doesn't resonate. I have provided a link below for your convenience where you can find out those placements in your chart. I only post these readings on YouTube, so if you enjoyed or were inspired by this reading, please give it a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and comment down below, as I would love to hear from you, and I really do appreciate your feedback. Now, let's get started and see what messages and energies are around you for the first half of October 2019. So, dear Spirit, what messages do you have for Virgo for the first half of October 2019? Dear Spirit, what messages do you have for Virgo for the first half of October 2019? Dear Spirit, what messages do you have for Virgo for the first half of October 2019? I am just going to cut the deck. And so the first card we have is the Seven of Cups. And it is clarified by the Magician. And that is followed by the Three of Wands. And that is clarified by the Moon. And that is followed by Four of Pentacles, which is clarified by the Five of Wands. And at the bottom of the deck, Virgo, we have the Hanged Man. So that represents your energy, the energy around you for the first, the overall energy around you for the first 2 weeks of October 2019. So, and that will also influence the rest of the reading because this is the main energy around you. So the Hanged Man is about seeing things from a different perspective. And like you can see that he's hanging upside down. He's like just hanging there all nonchalant, more than happy to be here. And he's placed himself there. So it's not like someone has hung him upside down. He's happy to be there. He's enjoying this, and he's enjoying this different perspective that this is bringing by hanging upside down. Now, in a love reading, the Hanged Man is here to teach you to invest in yourself before you start investing in a relationship. So manifest through gratitude and appreciate what you already have. Educate yourself, become an interesting person from the inside out rather than using material things. So having people wanting to be with you because of you, not because of what you can give them or what you have. So find out by hanging upside down, you're finding out what is truly important to you, and you're freeing yourself from comparing yourself to others. And once you know what you want, you can have it, but only if you stop wanting it too much. It's like if we throw out into the universe that feeling of that we're desperate for something to come to us, guess what? It's never going to come to you, because desperation is not a positive emotion, and it's coming from a place of lack. And when you send out that feeling of lack into the universe, guess what you get? You get more lack. So it's about switching that around and coming from a place of that you really appreciate who you are, what you have, and that then you just start attracting more of that towards you. And that's what the Hanged Man teaches you, and that's what so that is the energy around you. So it almost seems like you're kind of finding yourself here. And so whether or not you're single or you're already in a relationship, it's still about you might even be trying to reinvent yourself, or you're beginning to appreciate yourself more, and you're seeing life from a whole new perspective. And if you're single, this could be about you deciding that you no longer want to attract people that aren't looking for committed relationships, but now you are looking for a committed relationship. And so you don't want to be attracting those people anymore. You just, when that kind of person comes towards you, you're just, no thanks. I'm perfectly happy without you, and I will wait. I'm willing to wait until something better and someone better comes along that's going to be, you know, an equal and someone that's going to compliment me and support me and help me be the best person I can be, versus someone who's going to drag me down, make me feel like garbage all the time because why won't you commit to me? Like that kind of a thing. So we also, so we start off with the Seven of Cups, excuse me. And cups in a love reading, these are all about making creativity, making your heart overflow. So when someone can inspire you, they become your muse and your most beloved person. So this is about taking what you're trying to attract is someone that is that does that can inspire you and is your muse, and somebody that, and that's what you're looking for, and that's what you know, that's what's going to create that emotional fulfillment for you. And like, so normally the Seven of Cups is about it can be about commitment issues and having too many choices, but it also means that, you know, all of these choices you have lots of choices in front of you, and it's deciding which one you want, which one you don't want. And you can see in the cups here too, like there's a beautiful lady, there's a spirit, there's this monster coming out of this one, there's a garden full of and jewels on this one. So it's all about, you know, being deliberate in your choices on what you want in love, relationships, romance, and what you don't want. And then focusing on that one type, on that type of person, and then attracting that to you, because you have focused on yourself, you've made yourself a better person, so now your expectations are also higher, and that's the route, that's the cup you're going to choose. And if you're already in a relationship, again, it's, you know, you could kind of, your relationship could be evolving, and it could be evolving more into one that's more about mutual, like there's a lot more gratitude for each other and appreciation for each other. And, you know, or even you could be taking lessons or a course together and growing together. And but yeah, like all these options are before you. And I mean, this Seven of Cups it's clarified by the Magician, and it almost can't get any better than that, because the Magician this is someone who is focused. It's or the energy around the Magician is focused, creativity. It's turning visions into reality and inspired action. So this is all about taking that thought and what you want and manifesting it into something that's real and concrete. So in a love reading, the Magician is someone that, you know, I mean, this is very, very exciting, because the Magician is someone who gets you. They know you. They know what makes you tick. And so you know, in that respect, they represent your ideal partner or your soulmate. And the downside of that is it does mean, especially if you are just starting to date, or you're single and looking for someone, or someone new comes in, it can mean that because you are so connected and you are so, like they represent that ideal partner for you, like it's the perfect person, or at least in your mind, they're the perfect person for you. It can also mean that the fear comes with it, because you're terrified of losing them. So you need to be careful of that and mindful of that, because if you are fearful of that, guess what happens? You know what you worry about, what you think about, like it's all about attraction, and you can potentially push that person away that could have been such a great thing, person and thing for your life, and could have created that emotional fulfillment. The Magician also is, when it is a person that comes into your life, this is someone who keeps you on your toes. They push you to make something of yourself, to be the best you can be, to be someone that you can be proud of, and they're someone that is proud of you. And so, you know, again, in the beginning, if you're in a relationship, then this is fantastic, you know, and this could be where your relationship is evolving to and moving into. But if it's a new relationship, or you're single, just be very careful, because of the intensity that is related to this, it can consume you, and it can end up depriving you of your sense of self. So you could end up kind of losing your self-identity, and especially when that is what you're trying to focus on. So just be very aware of that. And that's all this is saying, is just be aware of that, and just trust. You must love yourself to keep any kind of relationship harmonious and to keep it balanced, or you're going to end up feeling emotionally drained and empty in the end. And so that's just kind of like that little thing. And you know what, and that relates to the Hangman too, that you have to really love yourself first. So this is all followed by the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is, it's about expansion, and like you see this person standing on the shores, they're hanging out, they have the Three of Wands around you. They've started to take action for a specific purpose, and in this case, you know, it's love, relationship, romance. They've kind of put things out there, and now they're waiting for their ships to come in, and they've already seen a little bit of success. So if you're new in relationships and dating, you're already seeing that you're starting to attract people that are the kind of person that you want to have some kind of a long-term commitment with. And if you're in a relationship already and it's a long-term relationship, you're already starting to see some changes in how your relationship is evolving, because this is clarified by the moon. And so that is kind of like the area your relationship is evolving and moving into. The moon is, you got quite a few, you got 1, 2, 3 major arcana cards in here. So this is also a lot about clearing karma, and this is, yeah, and so you know, it's really good to have these in here, but it's going to be a lot of intense energy for you, Virgo, for the first half of October. And so you know, so just be aware of that. But the moon, anyway, how this is, what you've put out there and how that is changing is, so the moon is, sorry, I'm just kind of lost for my words here for a moment. The moon is voluntary changes and trusting your intuition in a love reading or a relationship reading. So it's also about the hidden. So sometimes it is about secrets, but because this is a moving forward and putting, again, you're starting to see some of the results. I'm feeling like this is more about trusting your intuition and the changes that you're deliberately making to yourself, and the types of relationships you attract, or if you're in a relationship, it's those deliberate changes that you're trying to in evolving that relationship or moving it forward. And so the moon speaks to a love that is both pure and blind, and it can signify that you are the one thing to be aware of is that it can mean that you are waiting for your partner to become the partner that you're dreaming of. So just be aware of that. Make sure that you aren't you're not seeing something that isn't real and that's just a fantasy. So just be aware of that. But it's also going to be telling you that you're craving adventure, and you know, in your relationship, and that in order, as you're moving forward and as you're starting to see this relationship evolve and change and grow, the biggest message with the moon is to be honest with yourself and consider what you want versus what you need. Okay? Because if you're focusing on what you want, sometimes that can lead to heartbreak. But if you focus on what you need out of a relationship, then that is the light out of the darkness. And that's when, you know, that just completely opens up your world with regard to love and romance. And then it becomes almost like an intuitive relationship that, you know, where you're really in sync with someone. And then we have, so this is followed by the Four of Pentacles. And this could be that, you know, you see how she's clinging to her coins, her pentacles there, not wanting to share them, hoarding them, afraid that she doesn't have enough. So this is, I normally when I read this card in a love reading, I'm feeling like it's like you're kind of putting a wall up and holding your heart back and not giving enough, like that you need to open up. But I'm feeling this one. This one is feeling a little bit different today, and it's feeling more like you might have a little bit of a fear that you're not enough, or that you don't have enough to offer, and that's not the case. That's really and truly not the case. And this could also be where this is coming in, that you really need to focus on yourself and loving yourself first, and investing in yourself and appreciating you for you, and making sure that, you know, because you are enough. You don't need to give. You don't need to give someone material things to have them like you. Don't buy someone's love. You don't need to. You are enough. And that's the sense that I'm getting from this card. It's just, I just feel like this is a last little reminder to remind you that you know, you are enough, and know that you are enough, and be confident in that. And that is clarified by the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands is about challenges and obstacles. It can be rivalry too in sport, but I'm really feeling this is more towards the challenges and obstacles, and that this is your challenge right here. Is perhaps you know, regardless of whether or not you're single or in a relationship, you've kind of you're too hard on yourself. You know, Virgo, you're really too hard on yourself, and you have that fear that you aren't good enough, or you can't offer someone enough. And so sometimes maybe that's the way you do it, is you spend money on them, or you buy things, or you buy things for yourself, hoping that will attract people to you because they want to hang around you because you own, you know, you own a Corvette or something like that. And that's not the case at all. And that is your challenge, and that is what you need to overcome, is understanding your worth and your value. And once you do that, you're going to attract someone that is just, it's like having that soulmate, being attracted to you, that person who really gets you and understands you and completely fulfills you, and you know, and your cup is full, and you have that emotional fulfillment and stability, and that's really beautiful. And you know what, Virgo, this really was a beautiful reading, and it's you're going to have a very interesting and exciting, you know, month of October. I think that there's a lot of positive things coming your way. So that concludes your reading for the first half of October. Please join me again for the second half of the month of October for that reading, and I will be posting that in approximately 2 weeks. So thank you for watching me, and lots of love, and take care, Virgo.